The 7 deadly mistakes that kill manufacturers and the 6 next-generation strategies for your company to thrive. Hello, I'm Bob Chesney for NCC Automated Systems, and I want to welcome you to this executive briefing based on research we had done for the benefit of our clients and the manufacturing industry. And this research was done by Empire Research Company for us to examine the disturbing trends in the manufacturing sector and the make-or-break strategies that will shape a company like yours' future. So the reason we did this was to help us recognize that manufacturing is the core of America's economy, and our own economic fate is intertwined with the health of America's manufacturers. Now, in our work with manufacturing companies, we get a first-hand look at the obstacles that you're facing today and the rising complexities that make the role of project manager particularly challenging. So we wanted to study what's happening in manufacturing and then uncover some strategies for success. Let's go in depth on the 7 deadly mistakes that kill manufacturers. First of all, number 1, projects miss delivery dates. This study on the screen shows runaways where they actually take substantially longer than planned. In a recent manufacturing survey, executives were asked to rate the success of their projects. The first success measure was on-time delivery. Not a single manufacturer indicated that they were very successful at completing projects on time. Only 16% of manufacturers said they were even successful, and 39% indicated that they were somewhat successful. 55% of manufacturing executives did not even consider their companies even somewhat successful with on-time project completion. Number 2, projects are over budget. Here's a look at runaway projects that add time and also exceed their budgets. 180% over time and 160% over budget for the average runaway project. So what are companies getting for all this extra time and extra money? Well, nothing, frankly. Number 3, projects miss intended scope. After exceeding timelines and budgets, 50% of projects do not deliver the expected functionality. Delivering projects that are within scope was another key failure area, according to the executives we interviewed. Minus 70% of the value the company expected to get. That was the result. So delivering projects that are within scope was another key failure area, according to executives. For example, let's look at number 4, unexpected downtime. 80% of plants can't estimate their downtime cost accurately, so estimates are frequently off by 300%. Quality and risk are also hard to factor. Product recalls have grown 85%, so each line change creates a process change that raises this risk, making the necessity of frequent line changes a growing concern for executives. And that brings us to the next killer. Number 5, slow changeovers. In a survey of food manufacturers, it said that purchasing equipment with better changeover options was a top concern. 28% rated changeover as their plant's biggest concern, while 57% have reported that they run 2 or 3 different products per line per day, and some plants run more than 10 products per line every day. How about lack of planning? Process automation systems expenditures represent about 3, maybe to 5% of overall project budgets. Improper planning, design, and implementation can boost these costs by an additional 10 to 25%. So projects that lack comprehensive planning and design can easily become runaways, but even more disturbing are the long-term impacts of our planning because the costs don't end with the project. Now, all this leads to poor processing and quality control, which is our 7th killer, poor process and quality control. Now, unfortunately, productivity loss associated with these 3 OEE factors, downtime, speed, and quality, is not where it should be for most companies. Now, let me give you some parameters here. World-class OEE is typically plus 85%. The average U.S. plant is 60%. The future of America's manufacturing industry is going to hinge on its ability to execute next-generation manufacturing strategies. Now, here's what the studies say. Manufacturers that excel, these are called NGM firms, will execute new strategies and engage employees and suppliers in fundamentally different ways. Now, what that means is that changes are always inevitable, and if we want to create a change, then we're going to have to create a project. So the study identified 6 key interconnected next-generation strategies that every employee, partner, and supplier connected with a manufacturing process must know. So next up is the next-generation strategies that can help your company thrive. Let's define the next-generation strategies. Now, according to this flowchart, at the top of the list is innovation. That's the rapid response to changing customer demands. So what we need to have is engaged people. Now, these are people with superior talent, and training is a key driver which enables flawless execution according to customer demands. Now, that means we must have process improvement. And as you well know, that's continuous improvement for gains in efficiency and profitability. Then we need collaboration throughout the supply chain management. Now, that's a very high capability which has to extend throughout the enterprise. And when you do that, it increases your capability. Then, of course, we have global engagement. These are people, partners, systems that are capable of winning against global rivals. And everything needs to have sustainability. When you design your system for energy waste reduction, you then can deliver superior cost performance. Now, let me just simplify all these strategies for a moment, because we've given you a lot of charts, graphs, numbers, and percentages. There's so much to absorb. What it really means is this. The central goal of all these 6 strategies is to deliver to customers. It's that simple. Those furthest from world-class, they're at 42.4%, and those near or at world-class are well over half, 57.6%. And what it all translates to is we're not very good about deliveries that reach customers in perfect order, on time, high quality, and to all their specifications. So in order to deliver, what we need to do is be very good and be willing to change over and over and over again very rapidly. So the key theme is innovation, customer-focused innovations. And what that means is we've got to change, and it's going to continue to happen over and over and over again and very rapidly. So here we're looking at the rate of the importance of customer-focused innovations to your organization's success over the next 5 years. And those, again, furthest from world-class are at 15.4%. And those near or at world-class is way up there, 84.6%. So the challenge is that not only do we have to deliver, but we've got to do it more rapidly. Now, this brings us to the key challenge: to deliver more profitably with efficiency. Those furthest from the world class is at 13.7%, and those near or at world class is 86.3%. Now, here's the problem. Change is difficult. We've got to be able to balance 2 things to deliver change more profitably than we're doing right now. We've got to be able to gain efficiencies. So fully tapping into capabilities requires a paradigm shift in thinking. This next generation measurement level of collaboration requires a new viewpoint and new actions. And here's what the study had to say. It's hard to break from the traditional view about the role of employees, suppliers, and partners. But the data shows that companies which view employees and suppliers as business assets rather than adversaries, expenses, or hired hands, they perform much better. Now, this presentation has been sponsored by NCC Automated Systems, and I am very pleased now to introduce Kevin Mauger, the president of the company, to share a very brief overview of NCC Systems and how they could help you.
I'm really glad that you're going further with your research about our company. NCC was founded as Northeast Conveyor Corporation in 1986 as a custom conveyor manufacturer. As our business grew, we partnered with several pre-engineered conveyor equipment manufacturers and became more of an integrator in the 90s. By partnering with the best conveyor manufacturers in the world, we then have become a force in the industry. By the year 2000, we'd become a full-scale integrator, still focused on conveyors, both custom and pre-engineered. As more companies looked to us for creative and innovative solutions, we took on larger and more complex projects. And since the year 2000, several key events have shaped our position in the market. The first was expanding our integration skill set and overall process for integration, allowing us to integrate turnkey packaging lines. This was a natural progression as an integrator. We've had extreme success in this high growth area of our business. Second, we've done a tremendous amount of work in the optical automation industry, an industry that is a perfect fit for our company. Third, we've invested heavily in technology and internal mechanisms, which allows us to do a better job for our customers. Projects are done quicker, more accurately, and with less cost. And fourth, we've significantly expanded our technical resource staff with the best and brightest talent available. With our expanded facility, great people, and our strategic objectives closely aligned with the market, today we stand poised and ready for the future.